Well, 34 of my baby's original recordings on my phone that now only exist on the server of YouTube unless I find out how to get them back had to die so that I can finish a thought. So my sweetie and I are kind of pretty into the Enneagram personality system, which derives from the Sufi order of Islam, which was founded by the amazing mystic poet Rumi, the founder of the Sufi order. When people talk about whirling dervish, those are the Sufis. And it sounds like whirling, but it's not. It's actually slow. It's sort of like a dance. It's like the dervish, anyway, he spirals slowly as a spiritual meditation. So it's out of that the Enneagram comes. And since the 70s, it's been more and more developed as a personality system. And I was thinking various thoughts with a lot of associative cortex action in there, meaning some sidebars, as one of my former couples therapists used to call my communication style. But getting back to the main avenue. How could I look good on camera? It's my endless preoccupation. Anyway, I was thinking about that, and I was remembering that it struck me that the Zac Efron, nice young actor's character in Neighbors 2, keeps saying, would that be like of value to you? Like he's very concerned with whether he can provide something, whether he can do anything for anyone that's of value to them. And I thought, why is it that word that he keeps using, value? He doesn't say of service. He says of value. And then I was like, oh, he's probably, in the terms of the Enneagram personality system, a type number 3, which is very kind of status-oriented and achievement-oriented. So he doesn't think about service like a type number 2 would think, or meaning like a type number 4 would think. He thinks about value like a type number 3 would think. And then I was like, well, of course he's an Enneagram type 3. In the first movie, he's cock of the walk and kind of an asshole and a dick at certain key points, like really pretty wantonly mean and destructive of other people's lives. But then by the end, he's sort of seen the error of his ways, and he befriends his former enemies. Anyway, so I wanted to share some of that with my sweetie while he was hopping in the shower. Hop, hop. At that point, he was just soaping up. Eventually, he was brushing his teeth, and he was like, white stuff coming out of his mouth. Reminds me of something. Usually that's my job. Anyway, so in the previous video, right after I lost the 64 videos, if you count, it's like 30 times my eyes go like that, which is, in my observation, a sign of trauma. It means a person's sort of trying to leave their body, or the processing is too overwhelming to maintain normal musculature, focused musculature, containment. Anyway, so I wanted to talk to my sweetie about, here's an example of a likable 3. There are so few of them. And there's a likable 3 we know in real life, if she really is a 3, and one that I encountered in the Enneagram groups, which is a different kind of in real life. It's a digital in real life. It's a remote in real life, because that's a real person out there, not just digits. And then I said something about Rebecca Howe, the character on Cheers. It's played by Kirstie Alley, and how she's actually, more and more of a likable 3. She's also very status and achievement oriented, but she has a heavy 2 wing, so she also wants to be loved. And my sweetie's been learning the Enneagram mostly by osmosis with me, but he's a fast study. So he started talking about his take on the Rebecca character, which is basically that she becomes more and more openly insecure and more embraces her flaws. And I said, so is that he said something about the evolution of the character, and I said, is it an evolution or a devolution or both? And he was like, well, in the moment, it's a devolution. She keeps letting herself devolve, but overall, it's an evolution because she's letting herself openly show that devolved part of herself. And then, spoiler, I won't tell you, but he told me how things go for Rebecca, and it's exactly what you would want, somebody who's obsessed with status, but underneath it all, terribly unstable. It's exactly what you would want her to realize she needed all along. In other words, the thing, in screenwriting, apparently there's the thing you want, and then there's what you need. And what you need is often even the opposite of what you want, because you're screwed up about what you think you want. Anyway, so I was asking him, do you think that the screenwriters are paying as much attention as you are to the psychological nuance of the show? And he said, oh yeah, totally. And I was like, well, that makes sense, because there was a thread about Anakin Skywalker and whether he and Padme are compatible, which most people think they aren't. Casual viewers of that, or casual considerers. And this guy said, look, I'm studying screenwriting, and here's how we would break down the compatibility between Anakin and Padme. And it has a great deal to do with their backstory. So, yes, clearly screenwriters think very deeply about these things. And Anakin and Padme are compatible probably for a number of reasons, but one is that they have been not allowed to be children their whole lives. They had to be hyper-responsible and couldn't be children and adolescents their whole lives. That's a deep compatibility. I hope this video actually works, technically.